Hello there, and welcome to the Out Time Film Podcast, where we talk film, TV, games, and all that jazz like there is no tomorrow. My name is Tom, and as always, I am joined with my co-host, John. Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, it's me. Today's been, today is going to be a very long podcast because we've got some juicy news.
We're going to talk juicy news.
And then we're going to talk about, we're going to continue our Zack Snyder Extravaganza.
Yes,
and we are going to talk about WandaVision. So,
yes, we've got quite a lot of stuff to cover. As always, time codes below if you wanted to skip to 300 or WandaVision or whatever. But first of all, I just want to say a couple of things. I mean, first off, we have been doing the podcast for half a year as of right now. This is our 26th episode.
Like 6 months. It doesn't feel 6 months.
No. So this is our 26th episode out of 52 weeks in a year. So it's not quite 6 months, but we have nearly been doing this for 6 months, which is crazy. Absolutely bonkers. It doesn't. No, I agree. It feels like a week. It doesn't feel like a week. It feels a little bit longer than a week. Well, it's been 22 weeks, I think, since we last did a podcast in person. So
last time was what was it? It was talk about video games.
Yeah, it was. That was episode 4 of the podcast. And that was 22 weeks ago. Mad. And also, this week we hit 100 subscribers. We are now currently standing at 101. So thanks, everyone. That's great.
That is an incredible milestone.
I don't even know 100 people. That is great. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I feel like we are pushing ourselves to make this podcast really good, and it's just so much fun to do, isn't it?
It's loads of fun. It's a lovely little discussion every week, and we hope you're all enjoying it. And we are welcome to we'd love you guys to engage with us in whatever way you want to, whether that be commenting or contacting us in any kind of way. John, shall we get into it?
Yes, let's get into the news.
Into that news. Okay, so I'm going to start off with, of course, we got a trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League. This trailer, an official trailer. What was 2 minutes or something long. It was very good.
Let me tell you, when it came out, I continued watching it all day, just wow.
Yeah, I've seen it many times.
More than 40 times I can recall.
That is a lot of times.
And then I put it on my story saying I didn't have anyone for Valentine's, but I didn't watch it. I did spend it watching the Snyder Cut trailer.
Zack Snyder's Justice League is the true Valentine. Let's be honest here.
And then all the people that's bad. I'm like, no. The trailer.
It's a good thing. No, I thought the trailer was great. I think obviously everyone went crazy over Joker, and I think Joker had some gets me really excited.
That's crazy because we went for a walk, and nearly at the end, I said, "We live in a society."
You did, yeah. That's mad.
Very conscious. So there was a lot of things that we didn't see in the trailer, but I feel like that's going to hype us up.
Oh, definitely.
100%. There's things that we have to explore. And there's a lot of new things, Jeremy Irons is there.
Oh, well, I just think in general the dialogue in this trailer, when Jeremy Irons says, "If you can't bring down the charging bull, don't wave the red cape at it," I was like, that's awesome. I think for me the personal highlight of the trailer was hearing Batfleck say, "I had a dream." Almost like a premonition, and you see the nightmare landscape. And I just want to cast your mind back to 2017. Now, if you remember, in the final Justice League trailer, the Heroes trailer, quote unquote, in one of the things that you hear Batfleck saying is, I had a dream, it was the end of the world, I think it's something more, something darker. And I remember watching that trailer and thinking, oh my god, they're going to do nightmare stuff? Awesome. And then they didn't. Obviously, we all know they didn't. So I think now that we're finally going to see that, I feel like I'm a kid again. I feel like I'm a young boy, like, getting really excited for, like, the next superhero film. And I love it.
This is like nearly 4 years since Batman v Super. No, was it 5? No, it's 5 years since Batman v Super.
Yes, it is 5 years.
And you know that something that really got me interested was like how Snyder like planned to do these films. So
yeah,
when Batman v Superman was coming out, like a few months, they were filming Justice League.
Yeah, they had the whole plan for they were gearing up to make Batman v Superman even as they made Man of Steel. Unfortunately, it was pushed back a little bit, but they had this plan all along, and I think that's really, really cool. About it.
And another thing that really annoyed me, like, so there were like some couple of fans like, oh, Batman v Superman is trying to be Civil War, but the thing is, Batman v Superman came up before.
Yeah, I don't know if people remember as well, Captain America 3 was originally going to be a totally different thing. Now, I can't remember the exact title, but it was going to be a different story, and it wasn't until they announced Batman v Superman. And if anyone remembers, the Comic-Con panel was wild. They had Harry Lennox read a quote from The Dark Knight Returns, and then they showed the Superman logo, and then it expanded with the Batman logo, and everyone kind of lost their minds. So I think, yeah, it was a response to that. But hey, I love both films. I think they're both great, Civil War and Batman v Superman. But yeah, another great thing about the trailer, it was the so not only was it number one on trending on YouTube for a couple of days, it's the second most viewed HBO Max trailer, which is really cool, beating Godzilla, coming behind Godzilla, should I say, and has 25 million views in total after like 1 day, and gained HBO Max 52,000 subscribers to their YouTube channel, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Like, this is really good if, for people who want this to do well, for Restore the Snyderverse and all that.
Yeah, and the trailer has 18 million views. That is crazy.
That is.
If you think about it. Like, all the people that have like been supporting releasing the Snyder Cut, that is crazy. Like, they've just been supporting it, and it's just unbelievable.
I'm sure it would get even more kind of traction if the main Warner Brothers kind of thing. I mean, there is a bit of a thing going on between Warner Brothers and the Snyder Cut. They're not exactly backing it, which is a shame. But hey, we did get the news. This is this Friday that Zack Snyder confirmed that it will be released on 18th of March for every country, the UK included. So we're gonna get it. All you UK fans, apart from France, Belgium, China and Japan, which release dates are to be decided. However, I think that's great. I was really worried that we wouldn't get the Snyder Cut straight away. I was worried that we'd have to like add things to our Zack Snyder's Extravaganza, like Sucker Punch or something, and I think I'd like to watch those films, but I want to watch it at the same time as everyone else, Yeah,
and so everything that is happening worldwide is just crazy, because in the the day before, you told me that there was like a problem for the distribution for Zack Snyder's film.
Yes,
and it was not released everywhere. So then, the next day, we just got it. We just got the news.
Yeah, I know, that was crazy, because, I watched an interview where Zack Snyder was saying, it hasn't gone very well. It kind of came so quickly, they kind of underestimated the demand that there would be. And now that everyone has kind of got, like, really excited about it, But apparently the response to this trailer has kind of fast-tracked this decision. And I think it's great. Obviously, we don't know whether here in the UK or anywhere, we don't know whether we'll be getting it on Netflix, Prime, whether you buy it on Google Play, whether they'll release the Blu-ray or give us HBO Max. We don't know what they're going to do with that, but whatever it is, I'm going to be there. I'm willing to pay.
Yeah, I'm just willing to pre-order the most fabulous thing that I can see with HBO. Snyder Cut. Any other Snyder? No, that's it.
That is it for the Snyder Cut this week. But we do have some more DC news. So it's actually really exciting, I think. So Batman 89 and Superman 78, so obviously the Michael Keaton Batman and the Christopher Reeve Superman, they're going to be getting comic book continuations. So starting in May, I think, they are getting comic continuations. So for Batman's case, this will be like a sequel to Batman Returns, and will like tell the story that Tim Burton, seemingly will tell the story that Tim Burton was originally going to tell in his Batman Forever. You have it'll be a different Robin. I think there is like some speculation that there might be Billy D. Williams as Two-Face. So, and I don't know much about the Superman one, but I assume it'll be a sequel to Superman 4. But yeah, so these will continue these worlds in comic book form, and I'm super excited. What do you think?
Yeah, that's interesting because it's going back to characters that they were showing on the big screen, and like on the comic one, like to deepen that universe, like
Definitely.
To go through. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. I think it's interesting. I wonder whether the Batman one will kind of fill in some of the gaps for Flashpoint, because as we know, Michael Keaton's Batman is going to be in Flashpoint. So I wonder whether they will be, kind of filling in some of those gaps to kind of tell his story between 1992 and 2022 when Flashpoint comes out.
Yeah,
that would be very interesting. Okay, so next we got a trailer for Cruella. So this is the like villainous origin story of Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians, played by Emma Stone in this film, coming out later this year. I don't know I can't remember if it said it was only in cinemas or if they were doing a Disney Plus premiere release like they did for Mulan and like they will be doing for Raya and the Last Dragon. What did you think of the trailer?
It looks interesting.
I agree.
It's nice to see Emma Stone back. When was the last time Emma Stone was back on screen?
I can't remember. I haven't seen her.
Wait! Wasn't that comedy film?
Battle of the Sexes.
No, that came out 2018 or 2019.
That was 2017. That one.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's great to see Emma Stone on on the small screen, but seeing her like acting someone like pretty evil. We don't see that.
No, it's going against her kind of typecasting.
Yeah.
I think it looks really cool. I think she looks like she's having loads of fun. I think it seems to have this kind of villainous kind of whimsy and wit. But I'm not like I'm not really that bothered. Like I'm not like I'd never be like, oh, you know what film I need to see? I need to see the origin story of Cruella de Vil. I feel like this is coming from like the successes of Maleficent and Joker, things like that. But like I think when it comes to Disney live action stuff, the trailers are normally a lot better than the films themselves. So I feel like there's a lot to kind of be apprehensive about. I mean, like, I don't know if you remember the Mulan trailer for last year. I thought it looked brilliant, and then the film was not that good. If you'll know if you've watched our episode on it.
I didn't know you were saying, oh, it looked amazing. I don't remember you seeing that.
No,
I thought you were like,
it really did. I was really excited to watch it when I saw like the trailer at the cinema. I remember I was watching Little Women and it came up and I was watching it and I went over to my friend and I was like, oh my god, that looks great. Like that's gonna be so good, and then it wasn't. It really wasn't.
Reality can be disappointing.
It can be. I like that reference there. So we got some Paddington news. So Variety confirms that Paddington 3 is happening. I'm correct in assuming you've seen Paddington 1 and 2, right?
I haven't seen 2, but I've seen the first one. I'm so sorry, but
that's fine.
I will watch 2 in the near future.
Right, well, so Paddington 3 is happening. It's unclear whether director Paul King is coming back. What do you think?
I don't know. Okay. Well, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've seen enough of Paddington. I think there's a lot of stuff that happened in the first one, and that kind of like had that that feeling, that similar feeling, like it doesn't need to be fleshed out as much, but like
I think the first one does everything it needs to do. I'm kind of in the minority here. Everyone loves the second film. I think the second film's pretty good. I don't think it's like I think it the stuff it introduces is great, but it also like it doesn't, it kind of doesn't develop a lot of like the characters from the first film, who are, a large part of what I care about. They have like these new kind of arcs, but the arcs aren't really fleshed out. I think the first one is cinematic. It's a cinematic masterpiece. I'm not gonna lie. The first Paddington is one of my favourite films. It's absolutely wonderful. Second one is good. I don't know. A third one will be fine, I guess. But I'm ready. I'm ready to leave the second one and the third one at the door because I love the first one so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but maybe it'll change our expectations. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? Okay, so we have some Star Wars news. This is we're going to be getting a new Star Wars game called Star Wars Hunters, which is going to be a Nintendo Switch exclusive. It'll be set in post-Galactic Civil War in the Outer Rim, and it will consist of a cast of unique Star Wars characters coming together to battle it out in a galactic arena. So it's coming later this year, and it will be similar to kind of mobile games such as like Galaxy of Heroes, but on the Switch. What do you think?
Well, I watched the live stream for the Nintendo Direct, which we'll get later, but yeah, I'm not too excited for that, because those who have like mobile style things to Nintendo, I feel like that's downgrade. I don't know, but like downgrading the experience.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like the Nintendo Switch is powerful. Like you can do like so much things. Like Breath of the Wild. That's massive. That's a massive world to go through.
Yeah,
and
I know what you mean when you say downgrade in that sense.
And you can take it anywhere, and it's just so much explorable, and you feel immersed. But like if you're playing like that in a Nintendo Switch, I don't feel like that's fun as much. But I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I agree with you. I don't think I'm that like excited about that. I think I'm sure it'll be cool, but not it. If that makes sense. Yeah, I much prefer like Star Wars stories that are properly like story and character based. Even when like you got stuff like Fallen Order, which are totally like have huge worlds and really cool kind of like mechanics. But yeah, speaking of the Switch, Legends of Zelda: The Skyward Sword is getting a HD Switch remake. So this is a film that came out on the Wii and will now be remastered to kind of like fit the Switch controls. So if we referenced our video game episode before, but if you remember that video game episode, John, you had Breath of the Wild as one of your top picks, didn't you?
Yes.
So what do you think, as somebody who loves Breath of the Wild? What do you think about getting? Did you ever play Skyward Sword?
I don't think I have.
Okay. So what do you think?
But, anyway? It looks fun. Like you got motion controls, you can do this and do that, and maybe it can. Yeah, maybe it makes you feel immersed, like doing the stuff that you need to go against the bad guys. Just and
like
slicing through. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, this is actually one of my favourite Zelda games. I didn't have it myself, but I'd play it at a friend's house, and I've watched all the gameplay and like walkthroughs on YouTube. And I will say this is one of my favourite of the Zelda franchise. I love how it adapts the kind of formula and takes it into the sky, figuratively and literally. Like, the thing originally is set in a kind of an island in the sky. And I think some of the stuff that comes with that is really interesting. And there are some, I really like the designs of it all. And yeah, it's just a game that I'd love to play again. And if I ever get Nintendo Switch, that's definitely a no-brainer for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks interesting. Yeah, maybe I'll get it if the reviews are good, or I don't know. So yeah.
Okay, so a little bit of Star Wars news now. So it's been confirmed by Rian Johnson that he is still doing his Star Wars trilogy. Obviously, Rian Johnson directed, Looper, Knives Out, Brick, and of course the most controversial Star Wars film, The Last Jedi. And he confirmed that he is still doing his trilogy that was proposed, however long ago. Not much known about it in terms of like story-wise or anything, but it's still happening. What do you think?
I mean, I'm not excited for it because we just had a Star Wars trilogy and that kind of failed. I mean,
yeah, as a trilogy, I think that we just had like announcement of like 11 new Star Wars projects, one film and 10 shows, and I think for me, I'm ready to give trilogies and Star Wars films a big old break for quite a few years now. I don't think that I don't doubt the films will be good. I love The Last Jedi. I think Rian Johnson has loads of potential to be, do really good things. But at the same time, I think that, I'm ready to just give it a bit of time to breathe. Yeah. I do think that, the Clone Wars and Mandalorian, last year did prove that, the TV model can do good things for Star Wars. And I think, if we just kind of focus on that for a little bit, and obviously the comics and the books and the games, and then you can bring back the films, but obviously there's no release date for this one yet, so it could be like 2025, and I think I'll be ready by 2025, so you never know.
Yeah, just wait for it. Yeah, I feel like you need to think carefully about Star Wars trilogy and
Definitely.
about like making characters very important to the story. Don't think story over characters. Characters are the key things.
I agree. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. That's it from the Star Wars news.
That is. We have another trailer as well. We've got a Mortal Kombat trailer. So I haven't played Mortal Kombat. I haven't seen any of the other films, but having watched this trailer, I think it looks like a lot of fun. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. I played a Mortal Kombat game with my friends. It was on my birthday, but last year in 2020 we were social distancing. I've got my PlayStation 4 out, and let me tell you, it was just a fun time to play. Like, it's you and your friend just fighting each other with your different characters. And so in the DLC pack, you got you can play as Terminator, you can play as Joker.
Nice.
Well, you're thinking, is that sounds a bit strange, but it's actually quite fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, and let me tell you, it is great fun. But a movie style, there's some movies came out with Mortal Kombat. I believe that. I think that was focusing on the action of the thing that was happening with the story, but you know what I mean,
yeah,
the fighting and
it seems very much kind of like style over substance.
Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Well, I do have one question. Why wasn't I invited to this birthday party?
Oh. Wait. Why were you?
How dare you, sir? I can't believe it. This is the end of the pod. I have to leave. We're no longer friends. I'm joking, of course. No, I think the action in this one looks great, and I'm very interested to see what happens, where they go with everything.
Yeah. With everything that's happening. Yeah.
Wow, you sound like you have such enthusiasm.
Sorry, no. I'm just thinking more of the Mortal Kombat. The characters, it looks very, very similar to the characters that you see in the game. Especially in Mortal Kombat 11, there's a lot of characters, and they look similar. So I'm glad that they're matching up the style, and Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to see it, maybe on the big screen.
Yeah, me too. This is April 16th. So I mean, it might happen like on in the cinema, but I mean, I wouldn't say to hold your breath. So we have some casting news, John. I know, I couldn't leave you without any casting news. So Sasha Calle is how I think you say her name, has been cast as Supergirl in the Flash film, in Flashpoint, whatever it's going to be called. Andy Muschietti, the director, posted a really heartwarming video. I thought the video that he posted was really, really sweet and nice, and where he told her that she's getting the role. He held up the Man of Steel, or I guess more accurately, the Batman v Superman Superman suit, which I think is really cool. So this might mean that we're going to get to see Superman and Supergirl and the DCEU kind of interact, similarly to how we did in the TV show. It is worth pointing out this is a different Supergirl than the TV show, and the first Latina Supergirl in any kind of media, in any show or animated film or comic, which I think is really cool. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool to have like an animated show of that. So yeah, I think that would be fun to watch. Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know what you're on about. It's not an animated show. It's part of the Flash film.
Oh wait, I thought you were talking about the Aquaman show thing.
What?
No. I'm sorry, I misheard you. I thought you said. I don't know, but
I'm talking about Supergirl. Supergirl's cast in the Flash.
Yeah, Supergirl, right? But there's like a new. I misheard you. What?
I've been talking about Supergirl for like 2 minutes, and you're
wait,
like, "Oh yeah, Aquaman."
Cut out. No one heard that.
So Supergirl's been cast in the Flash. What do you think?
Yeah, that looks. I'm very happy for that. The adding a Supergirl into the Flash, which makes adding characters to the DCU universe. That's the same thing, John. It's DC Comics universe, and I don't know what I'm saying. But
no one knows what you're saying, John. Don't worry.
Help. So it looks very exciting to me.
This film. I think this film is going to be really exciting. I mean, obviously, this could open up the opportunity for this Supergirl to meet the TV Supergirl. I think that'd be really cool. And also, I think it's really worth pointing out is Flashpoint is going to be a big film. You've got the Flash. Obviously, you've got Ben Affleck's Batman. You've got Michael Keaton's Batman. You've got Supergirl, and then there are so many rumors. Brandon Routh's Superman. Val Kilmer's Batman, Nicolas Cage's Superman, loads of stuff from Keanu Reeves' Constantine. There's loads of stuff this film's going to bring in, and I think it's really exciting if handled well. Similarly to Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange 2, I don't want it to kind of go overboard with all of its stuff because that would be really. But I think
but if they do Flashpoint perfectly with all the characters balanced. I feel like that's going to be really interesting.
I agree. I'm really excited for it. I'm just upset that Ray Fisher's Cyborg won't be in it. After the whole Justice League investigation, he decided to step down from working with Warner Bros. But I think it's obviously it's necessary. Accountability over entertainment. But I do. I'm upset. I would have loved to see him again. And obviously we are Zack Snyder's Justice League. Very excited to see that. But that is kind of bittersweet there. So final piece of news now. Edgar Wright, our boy, is going to be adapting The Running Man, which is a Stephen King novel. So adding this to the plethora of Stephen King adaptations. Most recently, I think It Chapter 2 and Doctor Sleep were the most recent ones, I think. So that'll be Edgar Wright's film after Last Night in Soho. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Edgar Wright can. I don't think. Has he done any adaptations before?
He has. Scott Pilgrim adaptation.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yes.
You can do it.
No, definitely. Scott Pilgrim is an absolutely incredible film. I think it's worth saying as well. The screenplay for The Running Man is going to be co-written by the guy who co-wrote Scott Pilgrim with Edgar Wright. So, like, you're getting back the Scott Pilgrim team to do this Stephen King adaptation. Sign me up, you know? We've seen that Edgar Wright can do some pretty gruesome stuff in Shaun of the Dead. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm very excited.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Just,
what was that?
I don't know what that... You probably thought that was an earthquake. But...
I don't know what that was. I don't know if anyone heard that, but I just heard a little, like...
Yeah. Yeah, sorry for that weird audio interference. But,
that's alright. Well, let's talk WandaVision, shall we? Episode 7.
No, spoilers.
Yes, big spoilers. Get out. Because we're going to do a lot of talking about what happened at the end of this episode. But let's start lovely and simple. What do you think of the episode?
Disappointing. Very disappointing.
This is definitely my least favourite episode so far.
Right. Okay. Does anyone know why I'm disappointed? Anyone have a hands up?
Oh, yes. Here.
Yes.
Here.
What's your name again?
Trevor.
Trevor. Right. Okay. So you know Agatha. Sorry.
You ruined it. You spoiled it all.
Do you know Agnes?
I do know Agnes.
Yes. So in this episode, she is revealed that she is the villain.
What?
Yes. Agatha
Harkness, not Darkness. I mean, if her name was Agatha Darkness, that would be like the most on-the-nose thing ever.
Yeah.
No. Oh. My brain. I'm not gonna lie. This makes me very, very sad. If you watched,
I tell you, when I saw this scene, I just got up and I was like, just furious, like.
Well, you know, if you
like Hulk style, just furious, just like why?
Well, if you watched our episodes on the previous 6 WandaVision episodes, I think the one thing that we both really, really wanted was for Wanda to become the villain. You know, the whole thing would be flipped on its head. The MCU would totally shatter the formula and try something new. But it just seems like ever since episode 4, they've just been crawling back to the formula where Wanda is the hero. You know, it's totally like, you know.
Oh, it's all Agnes stuff. Oh.
It
even killed the dog.
Yeah, the whole reveal, like, I was expecting, like, you know, Agnes has this, or Agatha, I guess, has this whole reveal, and Wanda looks completely, like, shocked. And it's supposed to be this huge moment. And then they cut to this, like, really, really, like, goofy montage, which would be fine in, like, a goofy comedy, but it totally didn't fit with the tone of the moment and totally undercut any tension that it had. Similarly, earlier in the episode, you know, when Darcy explains to Vision, like, how he's dead and everything, and then he got brought back to life, they undercut any tension that he might feel, any like any of his like feelings that, oh my god, I died. Like they undercut any of those feelings with just a cutaway and a one-on-one interview of him being like, oh, what a twist. And I'm just not a fan. I didn't like this episode. Like,
yeah, I did not like this episode. And to be honest, I was expecting Ultron in this episode.
Okay.
Because like, I thought that maybe Wanda accidentally brought back Ultron. I don't know.
Well, I was definitely expecting some kind of, you know, Ultron, more than a mention in this episode, in this show. Sorry, I was definitely expecting him, and as well, you know, Quicksilver. Now he's just an apparition created by Agatha. It's not MCU Quicksilver. It's not even X-Men Quicksilver. It's just some guy, it seems. It might not be, but that's kind of what I took from that.
Yeah. Maybe Agatha took him from that, but I don't know. I don't think she has that power.
Yeah, it all just feels like it's all been for a bunch of nothing. And as well, this episode undid something like... So last episode obviously ended with the Hex expanding and all the sword stuff being changed into a circus. And the thing that made no sense to me, this episode started and Sword has established another research base, right? Like outside the Hex.
Yeah.
What was the point of getting rid of the first research base if you're just going to make another one?
I think they're going to make another one as the Hex expands.
Yeah, every episode they just swallow up and like, oh, they're going to fall like, yeah, we're going to need another one. Yeah, I just don't know. I think this show's moving backwards in a lot of ways. And I didn't think the sitcom stuff worked at all this episode.
Yeah, I feel like the 4-4 break-in wasn't too exciting, to be honest.
No, yeah, exactly.
And I don't know why, but like I haven't said, but like we've seen like why Agnes is like the villain. We kind of saw that throughout this season, like the series, but like we kind of saw like what she was doing and like, oh, she can't be the villain. Yeah,
she was definitely, I thought she was maybe up to something at the beginning of the show, but now it definitely looks like, it kind of became... I thought she was a victim, Yeah, like, or maybe, like, maybe agent? Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, and it like, this reveal, everyone and their mum on the internet were just like, oh yeah, this is who Agnes is going to be, Like, even when the show was, like, marketed, when the trailers came out, everyone was like, yeah, this is actually Agatha Harkness, who's a witch in the comics. She's going to be the villain. So, it was barely a twist, And Wanda's never met Agatha Harkness, I assume. So, it doesn't have any impact on the characters either.
Yeah, wait. When did... yeah, so the first episode, that's the first time we see her.
Yeah.
But I don't see the impact. When did she come from? Maybe she heard from the fight with Thanos. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe just.
Well, yeah. There's got to be something, but
if she says, "Oh, when I heard that Vision was dead," I don't know.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm sure there's some kind of explanation that they'll get into next episode, in episode 9. But I do think, speaking of Vision, I thought his stuff in this episode... Normally, I'm like, his stuff is the best stuff. Him investigating what's going on in the town. Like, last week, I thought his stuff was great. This week, oh my god, it was a travesty. Like, Darcy, just in a van, just waiting to cross the road.
It just really, really exciting. And then Monica got back into the... Oh yeah! Now she's got superpowers?
She does. So I thought the scene when she comes into the Hex was kind of cool. I thought it was interesting that it takes like a toll on the body, but like this is a thing that I'm not too thrilled about. Like, don't give everyone superpowers, Like, and it looks like she just has the same powers as Wanda, but blue. You know what I mean?
Blue.
Blue. It's not red, it's blue, so it's different. It feels like... So, you know how in, like, a lot of the, like, MCU films, the hero just fights an evil version of themselves. Like, Iron Man fights Ironmonger, Hulk and Abomination, Captain America and Red Skull, Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket. They all have the exact same powers, and it's not really, like... There's nothing really, like, unique.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah, they can have like the same powers, and it's not really exciting as something like.
Exactly.
I mean, look at DC. They've done something like not repeating the same characters, but I think they did like with the Flash characters. But like Batman v Superman, like that. No, wait, that's in the same as Captain America and Iron Man. But no. Sorry, ignore that.
I know what you're trying to say. Like they take people with the same powers or even different powers, and they make the action a lot more kind of engaging.
Yeah, like I mean, you've got Deathstroke, or you've got other things that. Heroes versus villains. I
think probably my favorite example in the DCEU is probably Aquaman versus Ocean Master in Aquaman. I think that scene is absolutely beautifully shot with those incredible costumes and like the like kind of slow motion shots. Kind of felt a bit 300-y, as we'll kind of talk about in a little bit.
300.
Yeah, I think that stuff's great. I just don't want it to be like Monica fights Wanda and then Wanda decides that, I was wrong all along, and then she's a good guy again.
Let me kill Vision. And the hex explodes, and then everyone's come back to normal, and then Doctor Strange comes back in and goes, Wanda, we need your help. And then
right, exactly.
What's best?
Yeah, I think that, if it's just like in Doctor Strange 2, Wanda is just like this, like just like an apprentice or like a sidekick to Doctor Strange, then it just becomes super, boring. It'd be much more interesting if they made her an antagonist, especially since they haven't done that before in the MCU. But no, this just feels like it's gone completely formulaic, and it hasn't broken the grounds that I really, really hoped it would have. It hasn't done anything new.
It just feels like just the same thing again. Just so generic. What else? I mean, this maybe the last 3 episodes, maybe you'll change something. I don't know, because these are 1 hour episodes.
There's 2 left, isn't there? Or is it 3?
3.
Oh, I thought it was only 9 episodes.
There's 3 apparently.
Oh, okay. So apparently there's 10 episodes in total. Cool, I guess. But no, I guess, 3 hours is enough time to kind of figure everything out. But for me, I don't want 3 hours more. I like, literally, I can't sit through an hour of this if it's the same kind of quality as this episode.
Oh, no, Monica, she's gone Super Saiyan. Oh, no, she nearly destroyed the whole town. Oh, no, the fight. Oh, Vision's dead. Oh.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I think this is definitely my least favourite episode so far. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was fine.
So I feel like this episode was just a bit empty, not getting into new things. And then, wait, what happened to Quicksilver? He wasn't in this.
He was in the end credit scene.
Sorry?
He was in the end credit scene. Did you watch the end credit scene?
Wait. There's credit scenes?
Yeah, in this episode there was. Don't worry, it's nothing really like big. Basically, Monica comes round to Agatha's house and she opens like the entrance to the basement, looks inside, and then Quicksilver comes up behind her. He's dressed in like a beanie and he looks like kind of like a goon, and he says something like "Snoop is gonna snoop," and that's it. It's
Snoop is gonna snoop.
Snoop is gonna snoop, yeah. Like haters gonna hate or whatever. It was fine. It wasn't anything interesting at all. But yeah, it seems like Quicksilver's still around.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna get this episode a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I go 5, maybe 4. I don't know. Like nothing really gripped me or anything like that, which is a real shame. But hey ho. Hopefully next week will be better. Should we talk about 300 now? Something that I actually enjoy.
Yes, please. Can we just talk about something that is amazingly shot and somehow aesthetically pleasing?
Ooh, Jeremy, I loved this. So this is Zack Snyder's second film, and immediately this is his second film after Dawn of the Dead. And I think it's I love it. I loved it so much.
That is a massive improvement from Zack.
Definitely, I agree. So, I mean, I think, just first of all, visually, this film is like, obviously, I haven't read the comic book.
Every scene is like a wallpaper that you want for your desktop or something.
Yeah, no, I agree. I haven't read the comic, but it feels like I can imagine a lot of these shots being from a comic book, There's so many things that are iconic,
Yeah. And I love the colour palette in this film.
Oh, yeah. It has this kind of sepia tone and these, like, beautiful reds. And,
the music is just...
Yeah, I love the use of the shadows. How everything kind of feels like grandiose and like really like big. The Spartans feel really larger than life. I think it's worth pointing out all the actors, quite famously went through a really really vigorous training, regime, to get like these like Spartan-esque bodies, and you really feel that everyone is like shredded in this film.
Yeah, like even I was surprised that Michael Fassbender.
Yes, me too. I didn't even know he was in this film, and I saw him and I was like, oh, it's hi. Like, yeah, that was great. I think the actors were great.
Yeah, like they fit into the role of like being the Spartans.
Definitely.
And like, I just love every shot in this film. Like, even the flashback or the backstory of I can't say his name properly.
Ignitus.
Leonidas.
Ignitus, I think.
I thought it was Leonidas.
Oh, it might be. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think you're more like to know than I am because you have subtitles on, right?
Yeah. You don't have subtitles. So I just loved it, like the introduction of it, and
yeah,
you'll find out what the
it's Leonidas.
Yeah, Leonidas.
Yeah, Leonidas.
But the narrator throughout the film is just really, really engaging because like it's alongside with the story, and you'll find out who is this narrator, and it's just really fun.
Yes,
very interesting to hear. Like,
I agree.
The perspective.
It's interesting that the film is told from this person's perspective. You know, he is. It kind of makes me question the validity of the film in a sense that, like, you know, this person is telling this story as like a means to make the art, to kind of elevate it. Like, it makes me wonder how much of this story in the universe was true, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, kind of how much of it was like actually, like how much of it went down like that, or was the narrator just like telling it to make it sound much more grandiose? I thought that was very interesting, and it felt like a poem.
Yeah, like a poem.
If that makes sense. Like, it felt like a very kind of like World War I, kind of like Wilfred Owen kind of thing, where you've got like these soldiers like marching through a valley, like practically marching to their deaths, but like, having
and the most like bravest, like the most strongest like way of like the Spartans. And I just what was I about to say? And if the Spartans survived and came back, the story wouldn't be so impactful.
Yeah, I agree. I think the fact that, is that they know that there isn't any coming back from this. They know that they are protecting their king, they are protecting their home, and they are doing the right thing, and they do really like prove themselves in battle. I think there are some like, I think the formations that they use, like, they push back against the enemy and then they start like slicing them up, and this really nicely edited like slow fast motion action. It'll be like regular motion, then it'll go slow motion, and then back to regular motion.
Yeah. And with everything that, like, the crazy thing is that the story is yet so simple, but like the shots is what makes the story so impactful. Like, they're just fierce. They're just like so forceful and like so aggressive, and they're just like all together. And there's like a difference, like a just juxtaposition between I forgot the villain name. I don't know what's his name.
That's his name.
Okay. Oh, Zereza.
Xerxes.
Xerxes and Leonidas. That there's like a juxtaposition, like how Leonidas just how he treats his soldiers well. Like, all together, like being brave, and then you got what's his name again?
Which one?
The villain,
Xerxes.
Xerxes. Am I saying it right?
Xerxes.
Xerxes. So Xerxes, he's like using his like soldiers to, as like slaves to get down steps, or I don't know, but
and they're all lifting him up.
Yeah, and like Leonidas, he's so like brave, and he doesn't want to kneel, and he will fight against Xerxes. So and I love the ending, like with like when the narrator said that Leonidas' helmet was stifling, and his shield is heavy, and then you drop down the spear. You're probably thinking, wait, what? He's surrendering? Because like surrender is not like the best option for Spartans because they never surrender. And then when what's his name? Stelios came out of the shield thing, and everyone was fighting, and then the narrator picked up from like his helmet was stifling, so then he could have like a better aim at Xerxes. His helmet was heavy, so then he had a better balance of throwing the spear, and that's great writing. I like that.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's brutal how he throws the spear, but he doesn't hit Xerxes. Like he doesn't kill him. He just manages to like scrape his face.
Well, that's interesting. I thought, oh, he didn't kill him, but then when I realized about like staying alive is more painful, about like the scar that you have, like that will haunt you.
Yeah, like, it's like you know, Xerxes wants to be seen as a god, right?
Yeah,
and
but he's not.
You know, if you make and I don't really want to pull a quote from Iron Man 2, but here we go. If you make a god bleed, people will cease to believe in him. You know?
Oh.
You know, it's the kind of thing where it's like, this is like, you know, showing that Xerxes has weakness is what will kind of break, you know, his kind of ranks. And I think, you know, what's his name? The Leonidas. I keep even forgetting names. Leonidas, like, he treats all of his men equally, and they all have like this kind of mutual respect. Whereas Xerxes is like, he sees himself as above everyone else. And therefore, like, you know, Ignitus is much more successful in his fighting, because they all have this trust and this kind of bond. You see it really well with the father and the son. I think this film has a lot to, like, similarly we discussed last week about how Dawn of the Dead has a lot to say about toxic masculinity, and about, like, you know, people kind of coming together for this larger thing. And I think 300 has that as well.
Yeah.
I think one of the things... Yeah, go on.
I don't think... Well, I think there was, like, another person who was not very nice to Leonardo's wife.
Yes, that guy. I think it's people, like, you know, it has a lot to say about, like, what is worth it. You know, the Spartans are very much like, oh, we can't say that we love you to the wife or to the son or anything like that. And you see them feel like regret over that decision. And I think it's interesting showing that, you know, this honor that they have is strong, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the thing that will end up destroying Xerxes is passion and love, as you see with the Queen, who makes this kind of rousing speech that manages to get the kind of council of politicians on her side and on the side of Ignitus. You know, it's not the kind of being a fierce warrior that will defeat evil. It's love. It's this kind of you know, it's the passion and the connections that we have with everyone. And at the end of the day, if you think about the final scene, the army charges for Ignitus, for the 300 men who lay down their lives because they had this passion for the for Sparta. You know.
Yeah, and and then Zack Snyder, he also focuses on characters that like Leonidas and like the captain, but then like the captain's son that died in battle, and that made the story so real, and that kind of hit you like in the feels like about these characters that these men go through, and they're so much braver than than the army. Well, they killed all the armies, like the Immortals, the Persians, and all of those, and
Definitely.
and you realize about these that they are brave and they'll go through whatever, and that shows like they're very impactful to the story. Like the guy who's telling the story, and he tells that to the soldiers, and realizing that Leonidas is like the best leader or the best king for like the soldiers went through, and he died with the soldiers. And the best thing is when Steelers said, "It's been an honor, my king, to be with you," and then Leonidas says, "Well, it's been an honor to live with yours." So yeah,
I think there's a lot of respect there, but there's the other side of the coin is I can't remember his name, but you know the hunchback who follows them.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, well, him. I do think it's a bit. I don't know about his character because Ignitus is very fair to him. He's like, listen, I know that I recognize that you're strong, but if we had you there, we are going to lose, and but you can still be part of it. You can help us clean up. You can do like a really honourable job.
Or do something like that.
And then
Leonidas is like still cares about the soldiers. But that was a weird character for that hunchback guy.
Yeah, I don't know about like obviously when we first see him, he's kind of like watching them kind of begin their journey, and he feels very much like this kind of Gollum figure who's kind of like in the shadows and following them, this kind of creature that they're unfamiliar with. And I just kind of thought like, what are we presenting here? There's this whole kind of scene where where Xerxes kind of presents him with this like utopian kind of lifestyle where there's there's like loads of women, and he's loving this idea of that he gets to have sex and all these pleasures that he's kind of been denied, and I feel like this whole kind of plot, I'm not kind of sure what it's supposed to do, and I think kind of it detracts from the from the core of these brave men trying to do things. I feel like as well it kind of detracts from Xerxes being this kind of larger than life kind of god. I feel like this whole kind of hunchback character kind of drags it down a little bit for me. I did think he was a bit odd, but like it's a small thing because obviously this comes back and they manage to surround the Spartans with this path that means they can get to them.
Yeah, and what else? At the end, the hunchback guy was there, but I don't think the Spartans killed.
No, I didn't see him die. So there wasn't any like he got to live, and they did say like, "Oh, you're a traitor." But there wasn't any kind of like he didn't have any kind of was it consequence for his actions? He got to live that kind of life of luxury with, what did he say? He said like wealth, women, and power or something.
Yeah, something like that, and a uniform. Maybe.
Yes, and so like he got to have that, and I think that's kind of like. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure about that kind of aspect of the story. Maybe it's just an element of the comics that they wanted to kind of put in. But no, I didn't really feel like that worked. But a lot of it did. I think the iconic "This is Sparta" like that. I didn't know that came so close like to the beginning. I thought that was like something that happened at the end.
Yeah, same. I thought that would be make the story impactful. But again, that made the introduction so much better.
It did. You get this whole kind of introduction of, Ignitus, his life, is Leonidas' life has been like he's trained since birth, and then he's tried to. He had to he killed this wolf, when he was like just a teenager, and you really see it built him up as this larger than life kind of person, and then you see like immediately he has this love for Sparta, and you see that already he's willing to put himself in mortal peril by killing the messenger. As they say, you can't kill the messenger, this is blasphemy, this is madness. And I think it is a great scene.
Yeah,
I think it presents his character perfectly in one scene. He's like, you come here and you threaten my wife, and you, I think it's interesting because you see that the Spartans, they do see the women as equal, whereas like other people at places are like, you let this woman speak on the same grounds as men. And I think you have that with the guy the corrupt politician who is working for Xerxes, and that guy is like he also sees her as he sees her as lesser,
Yeah. And then what else? I'm not sure, but the soundtrack and the cinematography is just on point.
Yeah, I really like the soundtrack. Something about the cinematography I thought I just want to mention is, I thought it was quite fun, the nod to Gladiator.
Yeah.
That
had the same style for Ridley Scott.
When the ending has the kind of the cornfields that you see in Gladiator, and I think that's a really nice little nod. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I think for Snyder's second film, I think I did prefer this to Dawn of the Dead. I think I'd still give it an 8 out of 10, same as Dawn of the Dead for me. I think it's better than Dawn of the Dead, just a little bit. And I really like the style. I think this is when you kind of see Snyder becoming, this kind of visionary cinematographer with all these kind of like grandiose kind of like ideas. What do you think?
I would give this an 8 or 9.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Because of the soundtrack and the cinematography.
Yeah, I liked a lot of the like electric guitar. When they're fighting and they kind of play like something like that was quite cool.
And also the acting from the performance of the Spartans, like even though like I like the voice like this is Sparta or like hold or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he Gerard Butler really did kind of give that kind of feeling of a king, and I really like that. I think it works really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you have anything else to say?
That's it. But I'm excited for next week's.
Yes, next week we're going to be watching Watchmen, the theatrical cut, because unfortunately we can't get our hands on the director's cut, but that's cool. And then we'll be doing Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and culminating Zack Snyder's Justice League. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah, excited to talk about Watchmen again.
Yes, I've only seen it once.
Yeah, same. I've seen it once. And I've read the comic.
Yes, same.
I've read the comic 1,000 times because I just love everything. The literature, the art style, and it is one of the best all time.
Undeniably, the comic is top 5. Absolutely amazing.
Everything that
unbeaten.
The detail is just astonishing in this comic. And we go into characters, and it's just so impactful. And you think about these characters, about what they do, and and even that, with Ozymandias, that is the weirdest. The guy who's also evil, but he's also right in that time period. Cold War, and
I really like the historical context of that. I'm excited to talk about it. So yeah, tune in next week for more of our Zack Snyder's Extravaganza, and let's move on to our weekly viewing segment.
Yes.
What have you watched this week, John?
I've been watching a bunch of Marvel films, but I'm going to be talking about one.
Okay. Yes.
I feel like I want to do. Thor Ragnarok.
All right. Yep.
So I watched this last night. I was watching it with my sister and my father. I don't know why I said that, but
My father.
Yeah, it's my sister and my father. Yeah, I forgot how funny this film was. Yeah. So there was like a lot of things that I really liked about this film, like about the character arcs for Scourge, Loki as well. Like thinking about Loki, about Asgard, and then thinking about his brother Thor, about like how it works, because you've seen it throughout the Marvel films. You see it throughout, like, oh, Loki's the villain, but then you kind of see like a different perspective of Loki. You know, like he's different. Yeah. And Taika Waititi, he directed this.
He did.
Yeah, so I haven't seen this film for a while, and it was just really funny. Like even though Korg
yes,
it's just so funny. Like I don't think a Marvel film has been funnier. Like so much fun to watch. But I've been watching. I won't talk about these, but I've been watching like Avengers and Age of Ultron. I thought they were good, but I had like some problems with it. Like there was some weird camera angle shots in those films. I don't know what they were, but Thor Ragnarok. I really liked Hela. She was important to the story, which I really liked, and that she's like an unstoppable god, and then this leads up to Infinity War, which I really liked, because my sister, she's gonna watch Infinity War with me and my dad today, and she's gonna be so shocked. Like we've been watching like the most important ones.
Did you watch Guardians of the Galaxy too?
No, not yet.
Okay. I just thought because like if you're watching the ones, I thought that Guardians would be quite an important one. But cool.
Yeah, but mate, like if you see like Infinity War, like you've been waiting to watch this, and Endgame was a bit disappointing, but like Infinity War, like
I mean, Infinity War is still one of the best MCU films,
and
undeniably.
Like the cinema experience is just unbelievable. Like if you're watching with an audience, and if it came out like one day later or it just came out on that day, it's just like an unbelievable cinema experience. Like it's different because if you've seen Infinity War, the villain wins. Yeah, just
I remember we were in the cinema together.
Yeah,
you were a couple of rows in front of me, and it really was an incredibly it was a groundbreaking experience for the MCU. And I was talking about this with my girlfriend yesterday. Both Ragnarok and Infinity War are kind of the MCU films that like kind of thinking about how WandaVision isn't doing anything with the formula that we thought it would. Ragnarok and Infinity War really do kind of shift that formula in the way that the ending doesn't exactly. The endings are very bittersweet. Obviously, they're not sweet at all in Infinity War, but in Ragnarok, it does feel that very kind of bittersweet. And obviously, I have like loads of problems with Ragnarok. I'm not going to talk about my problems with Ragnarok because they are many, but they do have loads of they do change it in a really refreshing way.
Yeah, and I thought it was good fun to watch Ragnarok again, and leading up to Infinity War.
Definitely.
It is very, very different Infinity War, but it is one of the best MCU films to date. But then Endgame, I thought disappointing, but we won't talk about that. But I give this Thor Ragnarok. Sorry, I give Thor Ragnarok a 7 or an 8.
Cool, nice, yeah. God, I haven't seen an Marvel film in so long. The last one I watched is Endgame. I rewatched it last year because my dad watched it And he was like, "Oh my god, it's incredible!" And I was like, "It's not that good." And he was like, "Watch it again, you'll love it." I watched it, and I was like, "It's fine, like it's fine." And I agree. I still think it's fine. You know, I think the first two acts are wonderful, and I just don't like the third act at all. Big CGI fight, yay! But no, let's not get into that. So yes,
What have you watched this week, Tom?
So I have watched a film called Promising Young Woman. So this is yeah.
This has got Carey Mulligan.
It does. This is a 2021 film in the UK, and is about a girl who is venturing to get revenge on all the people who take advantage of drunk girls, like they try to sleep with them when they're drunk, or even unconscious. And it is, I mean, first of all, it is far and away, hands down, the best film I've seen in 2021 so far, out of the 7 or 8 films I've seen this year. It's absolutely incredible. It presents a really, really heavy subject matter that can be really, really impactful at times, but it's told with this style and this wit and this, like brutal kind of like emotional narrative that is, really important, but also never forgets the importance and weight of itself while still being super stylish and super brutal. I think one of the things that is, really, kind of impactful about it is in the kind of like towards the end of the second act, it takes you into a false sense of security, and then it gives you this twist that is like gut wrenching, and it's really impactful. I've seen like 5-star reviews for it all around, and I would totally agree. It's 100% a 10 out of 10. You can buy it on Amazon Prime, and it's so worth it. I loved it. Definitely recommend. And I can't see a film this year beating that. It's definitely the best film of 2021 so far. I loved it like so much. It's absolutely wonderful. Carey Mulligan is incredible in it, and it's great. It's so good. I can't sing its praise enough. You should totally watch it. What else have you watched?
What have I watched? Wait, let me just have a look at my watch list.
Okay.
Sorry. Apparently, I've watched Marvel films this week. I don't think I have watched anything else because I've been busy watching Marvel films this week with my sister, so
fair enough.
I can't blame you for that. But yeah, I watched Civil War, which was great. I watched the first Avengers. Yeah. That's it for me. Tom, tell me what you watched.
Oh, I'll give you one more that I've watched. I'll just give you one more. Just be a little treat. I watched Nomadland. So Nomadland is directed by Chloe Zhao, who people might know as being the director for Eternals. So for the third Marvel film to come out this year, Eternals, directed by Chloe Zhao, and obviously, I won't see Nomadland as a reflection of the quality of Eternals, because obviously Eternals is a big budget film with a lot of studio interference and studio kind of collaboration. But Nomadland was great. It stars Frances McDormand, who people will know from Burn After Reading, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing. She's done a lot of things. It's about her. She is a nomad. Who is somebody who lives away from society in her camper van, and she takes up small jobs, like she works at Amazon for a little bit, she works on campsites to get like the basic money, but she kind of lives on the road and lives on her own. And it's an exploration of this community and the things that they hold dear, and the comparison between them and people who, you know, live in mainstream society. And it's very interesting how it's done, and it's a really emotional film that really utilizes music very, very well. And the fact that characters will come and go, you know, give this kind of slice of life kind of essence of this year set in 2012, and it's you know, it gives this feeling of aimlessness and endlessness, and you know, while demonstrating, you know, the important moments that do make life precious. And I think this kind of a deep insight into the human psyche and what is important in society is something that I would really like to see in the Eternals, obviously, as it is also directed by Chloe Zhao. And I think if this is the case, we've got some really cool stuff coming for Marvel. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, I would say it's definitely, again, one of the best films seen of the year. Probably my second favourite film of the year after Promising Young Woman. I give it a 9 out of 10 only because the ending presents something that doesn't feel like it doesn't have the emotional punch that I would like it to. I feel like the film sets up a bigger emotional punch. Sort of like when we talked about Soul, I thought that the ending wasn't quite as emotional as it could have been, and the big emotional parts come like more in between that. So the ending just kind of ends, and I was a bit like, alright, so it wasn't as impactful. But yeah, I thought it was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that sounds interesting to watch. So there's 2 films that I need to watch now.
Oh my god. Definitely watch Promising Young Woman. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been like enjoying watching the Zack Snyder like film Extravaganza the past few weeks, and it's so much fun to watch. And
well, I let you borrow my Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, so you're gonna watch that for the first time.
I let you borrow Drive.
Yes, oh yes, Drive was excellent. Another film that I watched, absolutely wonderful. Drive. I won't get into it too much, but it was great. It was absolutely incredible. The music and everything, loved it. Definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it on the Ultimate Edition. That's great because there's an art card.
Say again.
There's art cards in the Blu-ray like edition of like.
Oh yes, the Drive Special Edition has really nice art cards. I really like them.
I got one of them framed. It's
yes, that's such a good moment. No, one of the things that for the Snyder Cut for Zack Snyder Justice League, I need a Blu-ray or a Steelbook with art cards. You know, like I think that would be so cool.
Yeah, and like, or maybe like mini poster, or maybe like
well,
something.
I don't know if you saw, but there was Jim Lee and a couple of other artists have done variant covers for the latest issue of Justice League in the comics, which are based on Zack Snyder's Justice League, and they are very beautiful. Have you seen them?
Sorry?
Have you seen the variant covers for Justice League?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look amazing.
They are so cool. I want them. I'll wait until the whole marketing push is over, but I want to see, you know, if there's any way I can get those 3 covers and you know, like combine them or something.
The Jim Lee variant cover looks so cool. Yeah,
my favourite one is I don't know who did it, but it's the one with Superman, Darkseid, and the Flash. I think that one's really cool.
Let me just have a look on the Justice. Wait, it's no Snyder. No. I spelled it wrong. There we go. Idiot.
John teaches spelling. Our new segment on the Us Time Film podcast.
Right, where's the other one? You kidding me? Where's the other one? Anyway, I can't find it for some reason.
Oh, shame. Well, let's wrap up there, shall we? Thank you, everyone, for watching. And, you know, as always, if you want to comment on anything that we've watched, anything we've discussed on 300 on WandaVision, on any of our films, on any of the news that we talked about, you can get in touch with us at oustimefilmpod@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment or DM us on Twitter or Instagram, where we're both at oustimefilmpod, or individually, I am at Tom the Boardman on Twitter.
I am Comedy John 42 on Twitter.
And, you know, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the episode, and if you want to see more. Next week is Watchmen, continuing our Zack Snyder Extravaganza. Very excited about that. And yeah, you know, stay safe. All the same kind of stuff. You know, enjoy yourself. And yeah. Anything to say?
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Wear a mask.
Do that.
Wash your hands.
Wash your
Sing happy
hands.
birthday twice. I don't think anyone does that anymore.
I never did that. I'm not gonna lie. You know, sometimes though.
I'll watch more different films this week.
Yes.
Yes, and maybe. Oh yeah, I'm still continuing Nightfall.
Oh yes, Batman Nightfall. Yeah, you enjoying it?
Yeah, still enjoying it.
Yeah,
so
I really like the prelude, how it builds everything up really slowly. I enjoy that, even though I think it's a little bit too slow at points. But you know, what can you do? I think after I watch Watchmen this week, I'm gonna start the Watchmen TV show as well.
Oh,
which I've had on Blu-ray since Christmas. So I think it's time for me to
watch it.
crack open a cold one. Blu-ray. I don't drink. But yeah. Yeah, that's it from us.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Cody just killed the mood there with that really bad joke.
What joke?
I said I'm gonna watch Watchmen, and then I said I'll crack open a cold one, a Blu-ray, because I'm not old enough to drink.
Why?
Thank you. You just call me Comedy Tom. We should just, roles are reversed. Comedy Tom. It's brilliant.
John the Boardman.
John the Boardman. I think that's good. I think we should totally do it.
We should do that for April Fools.
Oh, I wonder if we have an episode in April Fools. We do not. Oh well. April Fools is a Thursday.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah. Thank you for watching, everyone. And yeah. Anything else to say? No.
No. But watch more stuff if you want to watch more stuff. Email.
Yes. Tell us if you want us to watch anything. And also watch Watchmen, so you know what we're talking about next week. You know that's always helpful. But yeah, without further ado, I take what you're given.
Give the things back.
God damn it, John! You had one job. You had one job and you messed it up.
I'm sorry.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Bye. Take what you're given.
Oh, okay, we do. Okay, take what you're given.
Give everything back.
Goodbye.